Well, we just had another Project Veritas release. The Bernie Sanders campaign organizers promoting the idea and romanticizing the thought of gulags and socialism in this country. Somebody's parents need to be slapped for allowing their children to misunderstand the concepts of freedom. The parallels between what's going on with the coronavirus and this promotion or people romanticizing socialism and what has went on in past history in communist countries is frightening. 40,000 people have been infected with this virus in less than a month. And as we go along, people are being infected with what I call the socialism virus as well. Interesting comparison, because when you're sick, you require treatment. It's just the way it is. Whether it be as simple as taking supplements or cough medicine or whatever treatment might be required. Yet, as far as the socialism virus goes, people do nothing. They just let it go on. Let it occur, thinking that it will cure itself. Well, here's some cold, hard reality for you. It will cure itself, but it'll kill hundreds of thousands, if not millions, by the time that it does. History has proven that time and time again. Yet, our young people either ignore the history or think that's a good thing. When we're taken advantage of by somebody, is it our fault or is it their fault? Is it our fault for being too trusting or for not acknowledging the warning signs along the way? Or is it their fault because they used whatever situation or proposition or what have you to take advantage of people and gain power for themselves along the way? Whose fault is it, really? It's easy to blame the other guy, and that lets us off the hook for claiming personal responsibility for things that we should have done ourselves. Yesterday I made a video about the impeachment trial and my beliefs as to what goes on behind the scenes and what motivates it all and so forth and so on. It got 10 views according to YouTube. So what's the point? Why continue? That's the question I'm mulling over in my head today. And quite frankly, I can't come up with an affirmative answer. Because the infection has already begun. And if the powers that be, just like in China, are going to cover up the real numbers, we're screwed. Sooner or later, it's going to spread to the point that it's not going to be containable. I'm glad that I'm as old as I am and really don't have that much further down the trail to go. Because it's possible that in my lifetime, unless I'm really old or make it to be really old, I might not have to deal with the consequences of the people that are promoting communism and the ideologies and thoughts that they are today. And even if I do, at least I had an opportunity to experience freedom in my life and do a few things of my own choice before it was all taken away. It's the young that are really going to suffer because of all of this. Because the ideas and ideologies that their fellow young people are promoting will quite literally dictate how their lives go and suck all the fun out of everything. So here it is, I suppose. Whose job is it to fight for your freedoms? Somebody else's or your own? Whose job is it to promote liberty in our own personal lives and in our country? Somebody else's or your own? And whose fault is it if it all goes away? If people are just willing to sit on the sidelines and accept what's going on right under their noses, they have no reasonable bitch or any foundation for an argument that it wasn't partially their fault. Because they stood idly by and let it happen. Because they weren't willing to stand up to their misguided children and educate them upon the blessings of liberty. That's where we're at today. Right now, in this moment. And I'm sorry if you don't like our current president. But we only had two choices. And at the very least, this one's doing the things that he said he was going to do. And it's the fact that he is doing what he said he was going to do that the other side hates him so much. Because it only accentuates their hypocrisy. The things that they said they were going to accomplish, yet didn't. Instead, something that I have said several times along the way, claim to be on our side and then go to Washington fall into the good old boy system and end up going along to get along and enriching themselves along the way. Allowing the infection to spread. This isn't about left or right, Republican or Democrat, conservative or liberal. In the end, if you boil it all down, it's about our Constitution and the fact that people with evil intentions are trying to undermine it. And people with good intentions are trying to support it. That's what the young people don't understand. And will more than likely have to learn the hard way by suffering, because they supported the very system that's going to ruin their lives, take away their freedoms, starve their friends and family, and more than likely kill millions along the way. It has been said, if you don't properly observe and learn history, that it's doomed to repeat itself. And it's repeating itself before our very eyes. And it may be in its infancy stages, but that's exactly what's going on. As people make excuses to look the other way, cloud the issue with things that really don't have anything to do with the issues. As I said before, we were offered two choices. That's the way our system works. But the reality of it is, should it be allowed to be undermined, you're only going to be offered one choice. And I guarantee you won't like the fact that your options are that limited. So keep on hating the man that, at the very least, is trying to support our Constitution, and idolizing the other guy who's trying to undermine it. And when and if it all goes the other way, don't come crying to me, because I offered you the cure. You just didn't take it.